Welcome, ladies and gentlemen, to the ULTRAGEAR TC Gauntlet Season 4 interview with FS Esports. This is going to be your boy Aggressive coming in to take this interview, and all of the lovely members of FS. How are you all feeling? Let's start it off a little bit on a light note. How are you all doing?
You're doing
Doing
good?
good.
Yeah, doing good.
It seems as though a lot of people are nervous here. I can see Dominic's like looking into the monitor, being like, okay, what's he gonna ask me? What's gonna happen? It's all chill, nothing to worry about. Just relax. But first of all, let's start with the light questions. Let's ask what everyone wants to know. Tell me a little bit about your team, about the journey you have gone through, and how this whole FS roster has been formed.
I would say I joined this team around 1-2 years back when it was Fangs, the first
Yeah.
roster we've been under. And the journey coming from there has had its ups and downs. We've had our fair share of peaks and as well as our downs. Right now it's currently in the middle. We're looking to come up big in the next events coming up, this gauntlet and the future events that TC brings to us. So I'm just hoping for the best right now.
Yeah, the team has been going through a lot of different changes, especially with the seven-man roster being introduced. It is a difficulty at times, but at the same time, what's it like playing with a seven-man roster? That's what I'm really interested about because personally, whenever I see a seven-man roster, it feels a little bit iffy, but I want your thoughts. Does it play to your strengths, or in what way do you feel like it brings you to a different level as a team?
Like right now during the pandemic as well, everyone has their online classes and everything right now. So having a seven-man roster has its backups as well because most of us have our exams. As a coach as well, we have our exams as well. So I feel that for us as an amateur roster, before Batman came, we were probably a semi-professional team. So we thought like we needed to have backups if someone has exams or any emergencies. That was our main focus, so that we have a roster for at any moment, at any given time. That's our main focus. Nothing else as such, or strategy or something. Uh,
Yeah. Like that explains a lot. Like I understand the situation currently, and having that seven-man roster allows you to be a lot more flexible. But you already brought up my next question.
Okay.
How do you feel about the current FS roster? You came in as their newest addition. You've been playing with the team for the last 1 month or so, because I'm pretty sure that you just started as soon as Gauntlet kicked off.
Yeah.
So, what do you think of the team, and how are you integrating into the roster?
I think my team has potential since they are all youngsters. Like Kohli
Yeah.
17, 17 to 21. 21 is their cap. Like there's a max. Like so, since they're very young, they're eager to learn and they are very hungry to play and win. So I think it gets me the best opportunity to teach them a few things and gets my experience to work and make this team and mold this team the way I want to be the champions. It will take a little more time than that we firstly think about, but I think it will be much more better as the day forward goes. Yeah.
Yeah. Another thing that I would like to ask is that is there like a single IGL in the entire roster, or do you have multiple IGLs that you swap in between when something happens?
So initially I do the calling that what we in depends on what read I have, and then in mid rounds we play on each other's information, what information they give it to me, and Kohli does the mid round micromanaging thing that we go in or we not. Since I've been the sentinel main, I do lurk a lot for them, and I don't know what's happening on the other side of the map. So I give it to Kohli that you can, since he was the IGL previous to the team, I give it to him कि तू ये बता सकता है मेरे को कि अगर हमको घुसना है कि नहीं ऐसा. So I think it's half and half me and half Kohli.
Okay, so
Yeah,
being such a young player, he's also taking the role of an in-game IGL. I think
yeah.
that
He's
Kohli, I
very
want to ask.
talented.
Yeah, he's so talented. I can already say that. Like him on the Sova, I honestly love his Sova plays on multiple different occasions. He's a god at what he does. But at the same time, Kohli, being 17 years old and having this much pressure on you, I want to ask you, how does it feel to be on the limelight in so many different occasions? You are the clutch master for the team in multiple occasions. Like we have clips of you all over our Instagram. I want to ask you what it's like to be in such a position at such a young age.
I mean, honestly speaking, we're all clutch masters. If you've seen B2's Reina
Oh
and
yeah, me too is
we
like
love
a special case. We have more questions for him later down the line. I see that mouse on his table. I'm gonna ask about that later.
so speaking of IGLing at such a young age, it's not pressure honestly, because like we have me and B2, like few of us have been playing since the past 1.5 years or so.
Mhm.
So we have mended together really well. So there's no pressure because you understand how we play and how we can complement each other's gameplay. So after playing for such a long time, I don't feel pressure as such. But since we are starting off with like a new addition, so it'll take some time for us to mend. But I think we'll get along.
Yeah, that's what it really matters as a team to come together and mesh well. And I believe that you as a roster, we have been seeing massive growth throughout the entirety of Gauntlet, all the other tournaments that are going to be coming up soon as well. I want to see this roster grow even further. B2, it's your time to shine. You're on the spotlight now. Talk about your G102 and talk about your 60 hertz. How can you be such a god with such a crap setup?
Okay, so basically, I'll tell you how I got into this from the start, yeah? So I got into professional esports from my brother from CS times, and his motive was to master me at disadvantages. So I started CS out with 30 FPS and a 60 hertz monitor. I had a Logitech M90, if you know the office
Okay.
mouse,
Yeah, yeah,
very
yeah, I do.
similar to the G102, and I had a basic keyboard, like a 100 rupee keyboard. So I played with that setup for I think 2 years in CS, and I peaked LEM. If anyone knows the rankings in CS,
Legendary Eagle
so
Master.
what that built in me was the way not to focus on my aim, but just build the game sense to master by outbraining the enemy, not out aiming, because I couldn't out aim anyone with a 60 hertz and 30 FPS. So all my fights were like basically outbraining them. And ever since then, I switched to the G102 basically just because it was more similar to the M90. And I've just stuck with everything since. And even the keyboard, I won it in a tournament, or I probably would still have a basic keyboard. So that's it, yeah.
So
Hacker.
using your brain instead of brawn. It's
Yeah.
smart. Like it's smart. But at the same time, you have your opportunities when you maybe moving on down the line, going in bigger, winning more tournaments. If you do upgrade, make sure to let us know because we need to do another full-on interview of just you. How does it feel from shifting to from a G102 and a 60 hertz over to a proper 144 after playing on it for such a long time? We're gonna do
Hopefully
that.
soon.
That's gonna be a
Hopefully
fun
soon.
one.
He will feel
Yes.
blessed.
Hopefully, he will be blessed. Like, honestly
Blessed.
speaking, I switched from a 60 hertz to a 144 about like 4 months ago. It was a night and day difference. You're gonna be able to find it out soon enough as well. But
Yes.
we're gonna play a game called Who is Most Likely to. I'm gonna give you a couple of questions. I want all of you to answer as truthfully as possible of who do you think is really gonna fit in for this exact question out of all of you. So let's start with the first initial question being who is most likely to int in the game?
I think it's probably B2. I mean,
Okay, Cortez, who do you think is gonna int?
B2.
I go
B2
B2 as
confirmed.
well.
B2.
I'm
Very
also going
true.
for B2.
Okay,
Very
B2,
true.
what do you think?
I go for myself as well. I agree with them. I agree with them.
Yeah, I think that the coach is also going to agree with B2 because he deals with them on a regular basis. Who is most likely to remain calm during a very massive fight in the team, or maybe there's like a massive clutch situation?
Oh.
I would probably say Batman because I would say he has the most experience out of all of us here.
For clutches and everything, it's always gonna be Kohli.
I
Okay.
would say I would go with Kohli as well. Yeah, too
Okay, so
calm.
Kohli is
Too
like, no,
calm.
I won't do this.
Yeah,
I
too
won't do this.
calm. Too calm. Like he's like even he's fighting multiple angles, he'll be like calling it out single by single. Either I, either I.
Yeah, I would go for Kohli also.
Okay, so everyone's like throwing
Everyone's
Kohli under the bus.
Yeah, he's very calm.
B2.
Kohli
Very
is
true.
the calmest in the team.
Who is most likely to ego peak an angle?
What does you know it?
It would be Cactus for sure. It's gonna be Cactus for
Okay,
sure.
I would pick Cactus as well.
Cactus.
Cactus,
He
Yeah,
will
okay.
be
same man.
cactus. Yeah, he never stops. Never.
Yeah.
तो माइक पे चिल्ला है रुक जा रुक जा रुक जा रुक जा रुक जा नहीं लड़का जा रहा है आगे हमारा
Sip W and click.
हाँ.
All right. Next question being on this side, who is most likely to laugh at the wrong moment?
Dominic.
Dominic.
Dominic. Yeah,
Dominic.
Dominic.
Weirdest one in the group.
Weirdest one. He can laugh at anything. Anything.
Who holds the team together when you guys have a mental breakdown?
I think everyone does.
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay. So the
I-
whole team. Okay. So it's like a complete team effort on that case. Is
Yeah.
that right?
Yeah.
Yep, yep.
Okay. Last and final question for this: who has the weirdest warm-up routine?
B2, because he never warms up on aim lab or any aim trainer. He just warms up on range for like 2 minutes and then just starts playing.
Okay,
Guys,
2 minute
हो गया
warm-up.
मेरा
Let's
ऐसा.
Cortez.
B2. He doesn't even play any competitive.
Yeah,
He
the
just wakes
fuck.
up, he'll come, he'll join the lobby, and he'll like do the range until the enemy team joins, and then we are good to go.
Very
Man.
true. Very true. Very true.
Yep.
B2. He's like, I asked him भाई comp को करते हैं क्या? नहीं भाई चलेगा.
No, I'm just too lazy to be honest.
Too
I just
late.
go into range and just warm up my muscle. But other than me, I feel the who comes next after me is Kohli, because what Kohli does is he warms up like 10 hours in
In
advance,
competitive.
just cues
Oh
comp
my
on
god.
repeat. Like there were days when he would play all night just for a match the next day. He would play like 12 competitive, lose all, and he'd be like, "Yeah, I warmed up, guys."
That's all the questions that we have. Like, thank you all for joining us for this intense fun. It was a lot of fun to just interview all of you, see your
Same here.
personalities in action, and how you mesh together as a team. But for now, ladies and gentlemen, that's all that we have for you for the side of FS. Make sure to catch them here on the TC Hall Season 4. We do go live with the following matches soon enough, and we'll see you all in the next one.